Why are you not then doing a joint committee of both the Senate and the House if you're still going to be summoning them?
Like, usually, let me make this clear. It's like the Petroleum Industry Governance Bills. We'll do it separately. Thereafter, we'll have conference sitting where we'll all sit together and review our positions and come up with something definite. For example, the Senate have finished their own Petroleum Industry Governance Bill. It's before us, and we're also already working on it. Thereafter, we will go for conference.
Yes. You don't think it's a duplication of resources?
No, it's not
to handle the same thing?
No, it's not. Even in the US, a matter is before Senate. The same matter is also being handled by the House. So it's not a duplication.
Now, when you think of the fact that you're going to be inviting these people over and over again, it's almost like as if they're attending the court, and they're going, don't you think that their time too, in terms of what they're supposed to be doing as they work, would also be could be better used, could be better spent?
Well, will be more better spent when we're talking about 25 billion. Look at the amount involved. Look at not just the amount. Look at the signal it's sending before the international community.
So, Honorable, I'm
Yes.
not saying that you shouldn't summon them. I'm simply saying that if the Senate is summoning them and they're going to be conducting an investigation, wouldn't it be, a better way to utilize resources if you organize a joint session, for instance?
But you know that both houses are independent of themselves.
I agree with you. Yes. I'm just saying, you also know that when the National Assembly says they're presenting a joint committee, they're also taking more forcefully than when they have two separate committees. I mean, there's always strength in unity, isn't there?
Well, we're not divided. We've never been divided. We always come up with one position. So it's the essence of it, let a more thorough job be done. It will lead to a better job, a better result.
Not from the experience of many Nigerians. We recall what happened with the subsidy probe, which was very popular, which a lot of Nigerians followed. At the end of the day, what became of it?
You see, the subsidy probe, let me say something. National Assembly is to make recommendations. National Assembly is to make their findings. And it is left for the executive to implement the decisions or the findings of National Assembly. Once we write, we communicate to the government. And it is left for the executive to implement such things. It's not the duty of National Assembly when there are findings or after investigation to go, for example, when you say refund or arrest or reprimand, that remains purely the functions or the duties of the executive.
Okay, so then there'll be questions as to, did you not see this coming? I mean, shouldn't this also have been a part of, the oversight that the National Assembly is conducting? These ministries are directly under purview, aren't they? Yeah,
thank you very much. The issue of oversight have always been misconstrued. But we thank God that this is coming up again. Each time the National Assembly, be it the Senate, be it the House, goes for oversight, it's usually misconstrued. But then, we'll keep going and we'll keep going and we'll keep doing what we should do. But usually, they try to resist us. You ask for information, it takes them 6 months, 5 months. You write letters here and there for them to bring in their documents. Okay, we'll do oversight at least 3 times in a year, minimum. At least 3 times. For example, before budget, we'll do oversight. After budget, we'll do oversight. In between, we'll do oversight. But each time you go there, you find that they usually try to keep away some information. So we now fall back to other sources for our information, which we confront them with. It's just unfortunate that this particular one did not come as we expected. Let me be very fair to you, because we had planned, of course, we're talking about budget, so we had planned to go on oversight. Both the Senate and both the House. Unfortunately, this matter came up, and thank God that it actually came up. We're happy that it came up. That goes to show when we go for oversight, people will not see it as if National Assembly is asking for something else. But what they are now, it's clear to Nigerians that the issue of oversight cannot be overflowed.
Of course, definitely, the issue of oversight cannot be overflogged, but then there will also be questions of proper oversight. If, for instance, the the law is now what is in contention, you're saying that you most likely will be considering an amendment of the NNPC Act. The question will be, why didn't we consider that before now? Is it because of this particular situation which might be in consonance with the law or might be in breach of the law? It's difficult to tell, without an investigation, that we will say we want to amend the law. I mean,
let me say something. As the day passes by, when you look at the law, you're looking to discover some inadequacies of the law, not just for this. For example, about 3 months ago, before we went on break, before before the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill had this thing it is now, the House has passed amendment to the Deep Offshore Contract Act, where we reviewed the issue of operations and explorations in excess of 1,000 meters deep. Usually, the no royalties were being paid by the international oil companies to the federal government. Before now, we had amended it. So as time passes by, when we look at our laws, take a reflection on them, we will now come up with amendments to make it suitable for the present day and to make it what is internationally accepted. So it's not as if it's only because of this particular matter, no.
Nyata has a question for you from Lagos.
Yes.
Honorable Nwokolo, thank you for speaking with us. Now, the question I want to ask will take us back to where you talked about the NNPC Act. You said the House and the National Assembly is considering some parts of it for amendment. What parts exactly would you be looking to amend?
Thank you very much for your question. I said section 6.2, where you talk about expenditure, for expenditure for projects of 5 million and above, that the corporation will send it to Mr. President for approval. That is a particular section which I said that needs amendment. Instead of Mr. President, it will now be clearly, in my own opinion, I don't know what will be the opinion of the other members, because it's not a one-man show, so that it will now be changed. Instead of Mr. President, it will now become the minister.
Okay. Now, being the minister, in this case, the president is the minister, so it still goes back to the president. Shouldn't that be the chairman of the board?
Well, let me say something here. We don't oversight chairman of board. We oversight the minister and the corporation. And it's not always the case for Mr. President to be the minister for petroleum. Remember the era of President Yaradua, he wasn't the petroleum minister. Remember President Goodluck Jonathan, he wasn't the petroleum minister. Okay. So the law is not meant to address a particular situation. The law should be what should be there in and out of government. What I'm saying here is that tomorrow a president could come and say, I have so much on my table that I'm appointing a petroleum minister. So such things, instead of bypassing the minister who will be on seat and goes directly to Mr. President, you will not send it to the minister who will not take the appropriate steps.